sort of in a transition for my opinion of technology in the industry. So like I'll kind of give sort of my old take on everything that you can use to build a great tech stack, but also like some of the cautions that I've sort of been realizing. And like I said, like basic foundational business tech stack, like I think everybody on the planet should use Google Drive for the affordability, the use that you can have and document sharing. Like what else are you going to use for storing your SOPs and recipes that you can mutually access documents and work on them collaboratively? Like it's not the easiest thing to learn. Like learning how to just like live your life in like the Google Cloud there's a learning curve, but once it becomes motor memory, like I just don't know how anybody lives without it. Google Calendar, like all of these things are just incredibly low cost and high value tools. Google Mail used to be low cost, high value, getting expensive. When I first signed up, getting a Green Tomato Grill at Green Tomato Grill email address was like $4 a month. Now they're like 15, 16, and I have 30 emails. And so what used to be a line item cost of like $700 a year is now like $4,000. So like that's one of the lessons that I'm learning lately is that these tech stack tools are incredible, but for a small business, you have to be really selective and maybe start looking and say, well, if that's the best tool, like what's the second best that still is a free version? Because those costs start to add up and your margins start to deplete. So again, like they're all valuable, but you start to learn you have to be really thoughtful about what you can afford for subscriptions because they go up. I've been in business for 15 years. Things that used to cost me $5 cost me $50 now. And it drastically changes the way you can calculate value for these types of things.
Well, and if you tell me if I'm wrong here, but it seems like if you start to rely on a solution or a tool and then it prices itself out of what you want to do, maybe for whatever reason, right? Like I don't like to buy Ben and Jerry's ice cream, not because I can't afford it, but it's crazy to me to spend $6 on a pint of ice cream, so you could just price, for whatever it is,
we lived in like the peak of value for the cost versus value that we lived through in like the late 2000s and then 2010s. Like Uber used to be the greatest thing on the planet. You're like, I could get a ride somewhere for $7, like every Uber I take now is 40. So like we've just moved past that cycle of cheap technology for the value, right? Google, Uber, DoorDash, these things used to be such an impressive value when they were in startup mode. Now they got to make money. And they're going to have to make money in what is likely going to be stagnant or recessionary atmosphere for the next couple of years. And if they don't have growth, the only other way that they're going to make more returns is by having a shittier product or charging more. So like that's the cautionary tale of like the majors, Yelp, Google, DoorDash, Uber, the ones that you got. If you're going to run a quick service business, you're doing business with them, it's the devil, but like their value proposition is going to be diminishing, not increasing. And I'm grateful. Like I was in the first 10,000 units of DoorDash. There's 33 million plus now. So and when you consider that there are multiple unit operators, like I was one of the first 1,000 operators using DoorDash. And because of that, I built deep relationships. I got better commission rates. I have the email address for, I think, 7 people that work at DoorDash corporate. I was a beta tester for their white label app. So I got to build those deep relationships and ride them upwards, but they're all going to peak. Like it's just inevitable that there's a cycle to any business, and you've got to be careful and know the shelf life for some of your technology tools and when they might be a little bit more burden than they're worth.
Yeah. Just like in Industrial Revolution, there was a certain point where it's the cost to steal, it wasn't the thing you need to be investing in anymore. Or in California with the gold rush, don't come for gold anymore. There's nowhere gold,
Yeah.